Today we will learn lymphatic target. First, we'll check the functions of the lymphatic system. Lymphatic system returns the excess interstitial fluid to the circulatory system. Absorption of the fat and fat-soluble vitamins from the GI system is another function of the lymphatic system. It also has a defense against the invading pathogens and the disease. In this diagram, we can see the components of the lymphatic system. It consists of lymph fluid, which is the intermediary between blood in the capillary and tissues. The lymphatic organs include lymph node, tonsils, spleen, thymus, and the lymph vessel. The lymphatic system is a complex network that consists of the lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes, spleen, thymus, Peyer's patch, and tonsils. This system has an important role in the immune surveillance and response. The lymphatic system functions interdependently with the cardiovascular system and serves as a secondary vascular system in the body of vertebrates. Unlike the cardiovascular system, the lymphatic system is one-way, open-ended transit network without any central driving force. The system begins in the dermis with the initial lymphatic vessels, which are blind-end lymphatic capillaries that are roughly equivalent in size to blood capillaries but much fewer in number. The lymphatic capillaries consist of a single layer of thin-walled, non-fenestrated lymphatic endothelial cells, that is LEC. LEC have poorly developed basement membranes which sometimes poorly perform and lack tight and adherence junctions. In this diagram, we can see the two systems, that is the blood circulation system and the lymph system. Here we can see red colored blood arterioles which are leading to the capillary bed and ending into the venule, which is at the end getting converted into the vein. Now, from the capillary bed, the components of the blood are getting transferred into the interstitial fluid. In the interstitial fluid are present the lymphatic capillaries. The lymphatic capillaries are open-ended. The components from the interstitial fluid enters into the lymphatic capillary, and thus the particular area is getting drained by the lymphatic capillaries. Lymphatic capillaries are extremely porous because the gaps between the LECs are roughly 30 to 120 nanometer in size, allowing the entry of large particles, cells and interstitial fluid. Gaps between blood capillaries are less than 10 nanometer. Several hydrophilic channels are present in the tissue space, approximately 100 nanometer. Given the physiological characteristics of the tissue space, drug delivery system less than 100 nanometer can be guided into the lymphatic system via an injection through the tissue space. Lymphatic system has a crucial role in the recognition and response of the immune system to disease. Most solid cancers initially spread from the primary site via the tumors surrounding lymphatic tissue before hematological dissemination. Orally or intravenously administered drugs first enter the blood circulation before they are distributed throughout the body, including the related lesions. Inevitably, this traditional administration route causes drugs to rapidly accumulate in normal organs and tissues, which may cause side effects. Drug administered via the lymphatic system could be more easily distributed in the lymphatic system and less in blood circulation, which helps strengthen the therapeutic effects and reduce the systemic toxicity. This approach is particularly useful for lymphatic diseases such as inflammation and tumor metastasis. where intravenously administered drugs rarely enter the lymphatic system. Now let us see the mechanism of lymphatic targeted drug delivery systems. Lymphatic targeted therapy for tumor metastasis can be divided into passive and active targeting therapy. Different nano-sized drug delivery systems such as solid lipid nanoparticles and nanocapsules can reach the target position via a passive targeting mechanism. Active targeting can be realized by biochemical interactions such as the affinity between the receptors on the tumor cells and their ligands, or between the antigens on the tumor cells and their respective antibodies. In this diagram, we can see active and passive targeting of the lymphatic system. The blue color structure expresses the passive targeting nanocarriers. They are present in the interstitial fluid and they will enter into the lymphatic capillary and finally will reach the lymph node. The red colored structure indicates the actively targeting nanocarriers. They will also enter the lymphatic capillary and reach the lymph node to exert their action. Passive lymphatic targeting refers to the use of the structural features of the lymphatic system for drug transport. For example, orally administered nanoparticles and chyle particles will be absorbed by the pairs lymph nodes, whereas subcutaneously injected ones will be absorbed by the lymphatic and lymph nodes. Particles with different sizes can be targeted to different parts of the body. The IV administration of the emulsion droplets with the size ranging from 0.1 to 0.5 micron is vulnerable to clearance by the macrophages in the reticuloendothelial systems of the liver, spleen, lung and bone marrow. Fat emulsion droplets do not enter liver circulation. Most of these droplets optionally aggregate within the macrophages in the RES, thereby realizing effective drug targeting to the lymphatic system to improve the anti-inflammatory effects. The earliest drug that was used for lymphatic targeting was mitomycin C, which can be delivered via intraperitoneal or subcutaneous injection in the form of water in oil or oil in water emulsion. If a drug is loaded into nanoparticles before it is dispersed into oil emulsions, its lymphatic targeting can be significantly enhanced. When monolayer endothelial cells form capillary lymphatic vessels in the process of lymph formation during cancer or inflammation, the basement membranes of lymphatic vessels are incomplete and highly permeable. Lymphatic drainage channels, normally 30 to 120 nanometer, may be further expanded to 300 to 500 nanometer. Macromolecules and colloids of suitable size less than 100 nanometer will be brought into the lymphatic drainage by diffusion through these lymphatic drainage channels. However, these macromolecules or colloids may be captured by macrophages when they flow through the lymph nodes. Therefore, the passive targeting of lymph node metastasis can be achieved in this manner. Active lymphatic targeting. Active targeting is mostly based on ligand-mediated endocytosis. In the process of tumor development, various vascular endothelial growth factors are secreted by cancer cells. These VEGFs can bind with corresponding receptors on the helices and induce the growth of the tumor lymphatic vessels, thereby promoting tumor metastasis via the lymphatic system. A drug delivery system with ligand which will bind to the VEGF receptors will compete with VEGF. After binding with VEGF receptor, it will prevent the growth of tumor lymphatic vessels. The drug delivery system will undergo endocytosis and release the drug and prevent the growth of tumor. When a ligand specific to a certain receptors on the tumor are attached to drug delivery system, the system will specifically bind to the receptor and release the drug. Such systems include liposomes. What are the carriers for the lymphatic targeted therapy? For which we require particles of a specific size. The penetration of the particles is generally inversely proportional to the size. Smaller particles less than 100 nanometer find it easier to penetrate the microvasculature of lymphatic metastatic tumors, thereby enhancing the anti-tumor efficiency. Drugs can be passively targeted to the lymphoma through the high accumulation of nanometer carriers during the lymphatic metastasis. Nanosurface carriers can be modified for active targeting. Ideal lymphatic targeted nanometer drug delivery system could meet the following criteria: high uptake by the lymphatic system, release and accumulation of drug during metastasis, low toxicity to normal tissues. Nano drug delivery carriers that target the lymphatic system in recent literature include liposomes, nanoparticles, macromolecule polymers, polymer micelles, activated carbons, silicon, and nanoemulsion. Now we'll see in short liposomes. A liposome is a type of drug delivery system composed of a lipid bilayer. These structures can be loaded with drugs by entrapping hydrophilic drugs into the aqueous core or entrapping the lipophilic drugs between the phospholipid bilayer. Liposomes naturally have lymphatic targeting properties. They show selected targeting to lymphoid tissues through intraperitoneal, subcutaneous, and intramuscular injections. After coming into contact with tumor cells or being engulfed by these cells, a liposome can release the drug it carries and show a long-term effect. Lymphatic uptake is related to the particle size, composition, and lipid dose of liposome. Based on their natural features, easy modification, well-controlled size, and feasible drug loading, liposomes have been regarded as the most suitable type of nanometer carriers. By manipulating formulation lipids with different fatty acid chain lengths, temperature or pH sensitive liposomes can be constructed to permit the controlled release of their contents. Now we'll see what are nanoparticles. Nanoparticles are solid colloid particles made from natural or synthetic polymer materials. These structures have an average particle size of 10 to 1000 nanometer. Nanocapsules are made of polymeric shells with a core wherein the drug is dissolved, whereas nanospheres contains the drug dispersed in matrix carriers. Nanoparticles have several advantages such as their slow drug release, long circulation, good stability, safety, and high efficiency. Most nanoparticles are made from natural or synthetic biodegradable polymers. Natural materials include proteins, gelatin, peach gum, chitosan, and hyaluronic acid. Synthetic materials mainly include polyalkyl cyanoacrylate (PBCA), polylactic acid (PLA), polylacticoglycolic acid (PLGA), and polymethyl methacrylate (PMMA). Nanoparticles with specific ligand attached to their surface improves their targeting. Now we will see one example of active targeting. In lymphatic metastasis of ovarian cancer, follicle stimulating hormone receptors are expressed on the cell. Fan et al. Conjugated the polypeptide of the follicle stimulating hormone to a nanoparticle. So, this assembly, that is nanoparticle with the ligand follicle stimulating hormone peptide, will be able to target the follicle stimulating hormone receptor. Now, a paclitaxel loaded follicular stimulating hormone peptide nanoparticle was prepared and its anti-tumor effect was determined in vivo and in vitro. The results showed that FSHR is a novel therapeutic target for ovarian cancer, and the delivery of paclitaxel via the FSHPNP could represent a novel therapeutic approach to ovarian cancer.